the chairman's letter avoids entirely the issue of accountability for the illegalities and irregularities that precipitated the invalidation of the August 8th election. This is despite the fact that several of its senior officers are now formally under criminal investigation. Moreover, the chairman's letter contains yet more admissions by the IEBC of culpability by stating that, I quote, "The system functionalities have been reconfigured to ensure that there is no text result transmitted without the scanned image," which amounts to admitting that this functionality, which the late Chris Musando assured Kenyans in his last TV interview, was subsequently terminated. This is yet more evidence that Kim's provider, Safran Mofu, as well as the telecommunications service provider, are IEBC's partners in crime, who must also be held accountable. Our position remains unchanged, which we now reiterate as hereunder. First, the fresh election must conform with the Constitution and the law, as ordered by the Supreme Court. On this, we shall not budge. Second, there must be full accountability for the August 8th election. In this regard, we demand that all the IEBC officers now under investigations must step aside or be suspended, as the case may be. In this regard, we are from tomorrow embarking on a campaign to demand suspension of these officers. We urge them to do the right thing and resign or retire voluntarily, as one of them has already done. Thirdly, we shall not accept the participation of existing suppliers unless and until they are cleared of acts of commission and omission in the illegalities and irregularities that precipitated the annulment of the August 8th election. In this regard, we maintain that the culpability of Kim's supplier is Safran Mofo is established. We will not be where we are if their technology worked as it should have. The role of the telecommunications service providers is also in question. In this regard, we have in our possession very credible evidence that points to culpability of Safaricom Limited, on the basis of which we are proceeding to institute private prosecutions against the company and its directors. On the events of tomorrow, we want to make it very clear, like we did yesterday in our tour of parts of Nairobi, we are not storming the offices of IEBC. We are going to march peacefully in the streets of Nairobi and elsewhere to show to the country and the world our dissatisfaction and our desire to have IEBC cleaned before we go to the next elections. We know that there are those who are itching, like they have always done, to unleash violence with crude means on peaceful demonstrations. We caution them that tomorrow's demonstrations and actions are not meant to be a confrontation with anybody. We shall be exercising our constitutional right to demonstrate, to show displeasure, to picket, and to do whatever the law and the Constitution allows, and show the country and the world that we do not want to follow into the matrix of doing the same thing the same way and expecting different results. I have no doubt that IEBC will, from such actions, put its act together quickly and make sure that addressing the issues we have raised is part of the process of reaching a consensus to have a free, fair, simple, and credible election in accordance with the ruling and judgment of the Supreme Court. Thank you. I've seen some correspondence that appear to indicate that they may wish to have a meeting later this week. Now, our understanding of a meeting of that nature, given our circumstances, is that there must be prior consultations, including but not limited to the agenda of the meeting, so that when we go to such a meeting, we know what we want to discuss, we come fully aware of what we want to discuss, and we want to come with our technical support services where necessary. We don't want to walk into any meeting where an agenda has been set and fixed, and where you get an ambush and start asking for time to respond to any issues of a technical nature that may be raised in such meetings.
Is the demonstration countrywide or just
that is our secret weapon, but we know that the leadership of NASA will embark on demonstrations in Nairobi tomorrow. If our supporters elsewhere are of the same mind frame, then we will be able to let you know. Sisi kama wana NASA tumeeleza ya kwamba tunataka mabadiliko katika IEBC. Tumetaja majina ya wale wafanyakazi wa IEBC ambao tunawashuku kuwa wamejihusisha na vitendo visivyofaa vya kuhujumu na kufuruga na kudanganya katika uchaguzi uliopita. Tumesema hao maofisa watoke ofisini, wengine wachukue nafasi zao ili tuweze kuandaa uchaguzi ambao utakubalika na Wakenya wote. IEBC haijafanya hivyo, kwa hivyo maandamano yetu kisheria na kikatiba ni kueleza Wakenya, IEBC yenyewe na dunia mzima ya kwamba hivi ndivyo tunapenda mambo iende, na isipoenda hivyo itakuwa ni vigumu kurudi uwanjani kucheza mpira na referee amevaa uniform ya timu ambayo tunabishana nayo, au referee hata hana uniform yenye kumuona udhibitishe kwamba huyu ndio referee. NASA ina vinara wake. Rais wetu Raila Amolo Odinga, naibu wake Kalonzo Musyoka, na mimi na Musalia Mudavadi. Tuna pia wale ambao wanafanya kazi kwa secretariat ya NASA. Kila mara tukitoa taarifa rasmi huwa tunamwambia vile tunamwambia, au tunaandika barua na tukutuma kwa vyombo vya habari. Sawa?
Just one last one. Have you proposed any date apart from the 26th of October?
We haven't proposed any date. We have said, and I want to repeat, a date must be and should be arrived at in a consultative process. Not to be told that this date is going to be 17th. You remember when we met here last time, we told you Fred Matiang'i casually said he wanted the repeat election to be on 17th. The same afternoon, IEBC announced that it's going to be on the 17th. Later, we understand reliably that the contentious Safra and Mofo are the ones who have proposed that they prefer the 26th, and IEBC has already latched onto it, saying it will be 26th. We know that the extreme end of the 60-day period is 1st of November. And in a situation where IEBC keeps on crying of running out of time and having no enough opportunity to prepare, they should exploit the extreme end of the period so that they deliver an election maybe at the end, on the last day of this month, rather next month on the first day of November, so that all the days allowable in law and under the Constitution are given as a process of getting things right. But I also want to tell you that the talk of time being inadequate is actually false. If you look back in our electoral history, we've always had nominations, then a 21 days campaign, within which period the electoral body would order and print ballot papers, even when we had 4 presidential candidates like 1993, when we had Jaramogi Oginga Odinga as a candidate, Mwai Kibaki as a candidate, Kenneth Matiba as a candidate, and Mzee Moi as a candidate. They were able to print materials within 3 weeks and hold an acceptable election. We have more than a month to go.
Another question was it was announced that the lawyers of NASA were going to file a criminal case against officials or IEC and others.
The process is ongoing, and if you listen to me carefully, Safaricom has also been brought in as a conspirator in this jumbled matter.
It has been accepted, or to wait for the decision of the court?
When you file a private prosecution, the issue of acceptance does not arise unless it's challenged by the party being prosecuted. You didn't listen, my brother? I said they are in complicity of the conspiracy to convolute the elections, which they successfully did. And we are going to, in the course of time, give you a detailed statement of the acts and omissions of Safaricom that substantially contributed to the mess in which our election ended up. Thank you. Summit, who are engaged elsewhere, as you are aware,